Good afternoon, YouTube friends. This is Jim. Thanks for visiting my channel, Off-Grid Living with the Bennetts. Well, it's been quite a journey so far. I started this YouTube channel 1 year ago today. And as of right now, I'm around 936 subscribers. If you're one of my subscribers and you watch my channel regularly, I'd like to thank you. If you're visiting and you've never been here before, or you're just visiting and checking out my channel, if you subscribe, I really appreciate it. So 1 year ago today, I started this channel, but my off-grid experience actually has started back 5 years ago. I'm going to give you a little bit of a history. I purchased this property 5 years ago. I've got 27 acres. I'm on a little lake. I'm in an unorganized township, which means you can get away with a lot of stuff. If you start watching my videos, you'll see some of my videos where I've explained the advantages of an off-grid property in an unorganized township. So I purchased this property 5 years ago. It was basically just a vacant lot, 27 acres in a bush on a lake. We went and we put in a driveway, took down a bunch of trees. I had a building delivered. It's 14 by 36. I had that delivered. I designed it online. It's built by Old Hickory Sheds, which is a franchise. They're all across Canada and I believe the States. I designed it online. Steel roof, windows where I want the windows. I designed the whole thing and they delivered it. Until that came, I basically had a vacant lot. And I built myself a boardwalk out to the lake. I slept in my truck. And to keep warm in the evenings, I had a campfire. I came up here quite a bit. 2-3 weeks at a time, off and on, for 5 years. The original plan was to have the prefab built, delivered, and then make it our summer cottage. So what I did is I did a bunch of plumbing, I did some wiring, insulating, drywalling, all that sort of stuff. Bought myself a wood stove and a kitchen base, put in a sink, and made a 1-bedroom. Nice little cottage. The plan was my wife and I would come up here in the summer and spend time with nature. But then we thought, you know, it needs to be a little bigger, so I built a deck on the front. It was basically 12 by 16. I built a little deck on the back, which was 6 by 10. Then I thought, we need a little bit more room in here, so I got the back deck and I closed it in. So that gives us a 6 by 10 mudroom at the back of the house. And then I built a small little deck, just an entrance deck. Now in the front of the house, the deck, I decided I would close it in and make it into a living room. So I insulated it, wired it, put tongue and groove wood up in the ceiling, put in a bunch of windows, and made a nice living room out of it. Once that was done, I thought I need a deck still. So then I went and built a 14 by 20 deck on the front of our house. So we can go out there, sit out there, and look out over the lake. All through my YouTube channel, I think I got like 400 videos. So all of these videos show the progress of what I've been doing and how it's been going. So now we've got our summer home, our summer cottage, totally set up, ready to go. Well, you know, with the way the city is, with all the noise, the pollution, the noise pollution, the vehicles, the fire trucks, the ambulances, the police cars all running down the road, all the noise, you know, homeless people are running around going through the garbage bins and everything. We thought, you know, maybe we should just make this our permanent home. So what we did was we sold our house and downsized, and we moved into an apartment. That would give me a year to get our cottage set up and make a home out of it. So then what we did is I went and had another prefab built from Old Hickory Sheds. I designed it how I wanted it all laid out. I had no windows and no doors. I had a set of barn doors just to get into it, but I had no windows, no doors otherwise. So they delivered this, and this was 14 by 30. A little bit smaller. And what I did is when I set it down so there was a 10-foot space between the two of them, and I offset it a little bit. The reason for that is so that I could join them and have a space in the middle joined. I figured it would be easier to join them together if I left a space, and then we could tie the roofs of both of them together. So that's what I did. So I ended up with a 15-foot by 10-foot space in between. I closed it all in. I made a hallway to join the two of them. I took my kitchen base out of the original house and took the window out. Made a hallway into the original house, into the old house to the new house. So I made a hallway, and that gives us our hallway. It gives us a closet, gives us a storage area, and it gives me somewhere to do all my plumbing and wiring and all that sort of stuff. So that worked out great. We joined them together. Well, then there was an issue with the water and the hydro and everything. I had to now get hydro from one all the way to the hydro panel in the other one. So we ended up putting a new panel, making the original panel a sub panel, and temporarily we ran the wiring all through. There was wires hanging everywhere. But now we're in the process of, I've got the main panel now is my main panel, and the other is a sub panel. So now my wiring is going into the main panel and then traveling to the original panel box. So that's worked out really well. While I did this, I thought now it would be nice to have a porch that's closed in, so that we could sit out there, stay away from the black flies and all that sort of stuff. So what we did is, while we were joining the two of them together, I had a roof built over top of the opening, so that now what we've got is we've got a porch. I believe it's 10 by 14. It's got a roof on it, a steel roof. I put screen up all the way around, so now the cat can go out there and enjoy, and the black flies can stay out. Just recently what I've done is I've put plastic up all the way around to keep the snow from coming in. So that's now done. And so now what we've got is we've got 1,200 square feet. We've got our off-grid home rather than our cottage. I've started making some trails through the bush. And yeah, it's all coming along. I went and bought this shipping crate, which is a 20-foot shipping crate. I had it all spray foamed inside. Had plywood put all on the inside. I had it spray foamed underneath. So this is actually going to be my shop. So it's not very big. It's 20 by 8 by 20, which is adequate enough. I've got another shipping crate up at the front of the property, which is a 40-foot shipping crate. I use that for storage. For a garage, I put up one of those shelters in a box. And my wood is stored in another shelter in a box. And I've got a third one I haven't put up yet, but I'll be putting up in the spring. I've got a greenhouse all up here on the shelves. I've got it put together. It's I think it's a 8 by 12. And we've started making some trails. So I've now owned the property for 5 years, and my YouTube channel is 1 year old, and I'm really hoping that it grows. I'm really hoping that people find interesting some of the stuff I've done. I've done a lot of videos about what it's like in an unorganized township, how to maintain your wood stove, how to be prepared for winter emergencies, clearing snow from the roof, clearing snow from the driveway, you know, how I build my deck. Just a multitude of videos. Water storage, water purification. Solar has been a big issue. I've got quite an elaborate solar system now. I started out with 3 small solar panels and 3 batteries. 3 105 amp deep cycle batteries and 3 panels. I expanded that to 5 panels, to 6 panels, to 6 batteries, and it just wasn't cutting it for me. So then I turned around and bought more panels, and then I went and I got some better batteries. I got some lead acid batteries that were 420 amp, 6 volt lead acid batteries. I went from a 2,000 watt inverter to a 3,000 to now a 6,000. I've now got 2 6,000 watt inverters. I've only got one running right now. I haven't put the second one, got it going yet. It's called an EG4. I've now gone to extra panels. I've got my 6 volt, my 8 6 volt 420 amp batteries are coming out here. And they're going to be out here with my 3,000 watt inverter. That's going to be a 12 volt system. And I've got 5, 6, I got 9 panels on my driveway. I've got 18 panels out in the field for the house. I've got another 10 on the roof that aren't really producing for me because they're laying flat and I've got snow on them and it's just too much to keep them clear. So when she's all over and done with, I'm going to have 30 solar panels. 30 solar panels. And I've now got in the house, I got Life 4 batteries. I've got 30 kilowatts of batteries in the house for my inside. So 30 kilowatts of batteries, plus got a 10,000 or 8,000 watt solar system that's going to be a 16 watt, or it's going to be a 8,000, 16,000 by summer. And like I say, I've got 2 6,000 watt EG4 inverters. So we've come a long ways. I've made a lot of mistakes and a lot of disappointments, but that's how you learn. You make mistakes, you move on. I've made a lot of mistakes with my solar system, but it's all starting to come together. So I've now got myself a part-time job up here, and we're collecting our pensions now. So we're I'm going to say we're living the dream. I've got no mortgage, no debt, and once we get through this winter, we've got a few issues we're dealing with. We're dealing with plumbing. We're dealing with making sure the house is warm. I've got the wood stove in one part of the house. I've got a 20,000 BTU wall furnace in the other part of the house. But we're concerned that if we go away for a few days that we could have problems with water freezing and whatnot. So, you know, we need to drain lines, and so we're just dealing with all of that. We've got a cat. We don't want the cat to freeze to death in the house if we're gone. So, you know, we may be stuck here for the winter. I moved 8 hours away to get up here. So it's a long haul to move back, or to go back and visit family and friends. But I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying the challenges, and yeah, we're getting there. We're talking about maybe chickens, maybe. My lake out here is absolutely full of minnows. So I've got a freezer, and I got myself a couple of little bubblers, and I put the minnow trap out, and within like an hour, I had like 5 dozen minnows. So I've got piles and piles of minnows. So we're gonna be harvesting our minnows for fishing, and once summertime comes, we'll be doing some ATVing and fishing. Right now, I've got a 1980 Alpine Skidoo. There's a video about that. I haven't used it yet, but I've got that, and I've got a bobsled on the back. I'm going to be going out in the bush and getting some logs, cutting up my own firewood. So it's coming along, and just thought I'd share with you where I've come from and where I'm heading. We're not doing any more additions on the house. We're not building any garages. I'm going to build a couple of little sheds for keeping some of my stuff in. But yeah, we're coming along, and we're tweaking our hydro system to make it work because we're totally off grid. We're tweaking our water. Our water, we get it from, it comes off the eave trough, goes through a first flush, goes through a leaf eater, goes into a huge tote, 1,000-liter tote. From there, I pump it into the house, goes into a second 1,000-liter tote. From there, I go through 4 different filters. I put some chlorine in it. When it gets in the house, it goes through 4 filters. 4th filter takes the chlorine back out. Reason for the chlorine is to kill the algae, or the E. coli, I mean. Kill the E. coli. And then it goes through a UV filter, and then we drink it. And I've had no problems with it. I've tested it, and the water is excellent water. Tastes good. Tastes better than the water I had at the restaurant the other day that comes out of a tap. So I'm really happy with the water. And yeah, this time of year I can't take it off the eave trough, so we're pulling it, we're getting it from an artesian well. I go there once every 2 weeks and grab myself about 150 gallons. 150 gallons does us for 2 weeks. So for now, I pump that into the house, and that's working fine for us. I attempted to put a sand point in. I did a video on that. I attempted to put a sand point in, but it didn't really work for me. So I'm going to try that again next summer, try to get a sand point. I don't really want to go to the expense of building digging for a well. You know, you could be like $8, $10, $12, $14,000. I'm not really interested in doing that. But I'll try to put in a sand point next summer. So, yeah, we've got everything in place. We've got my shop, we've got my house, we got our driveway, we got our gravel, tons and tons of gravel we brought in. We're starting our trails. So everything's here. So now what we're going to do is just tweak everything, make the whole thing user-friendly. I've got an ATV for plowing the driveway. I got a snow blower for blowing the snow away. But like I say, I've made 400 videos, and if you watch some of my videos, you'll see what I've done, how it's come along, and there is some good tips there for you to watch that I think you'd find interesting. And like I say, if you can subscribe to my channel, I'd absolutely love it. I'm trying to build this channel, trying to get it moving. So, and I need your subscription to make that happen if you haven't subscribed already. Anyways, that's it for today. That's all I got to say. And that's just basically the history of what we're doing. So, yeah, follow along, and we'll talk to you in the next video. And have a great evening.